So the new Spring Challenge event came out and it's quite an interesting one, although it takes way too much time to complete to the fullest. So I've made this guide to teach you basically how to do it in one run. So a few things to take note. First, I'll talk to the hero in the very beginning and tell him to increase the difficulty to the highest you can by, and then go to this triangle in the very middle and place down berserkers or any other melee units in the back too. And then once you have those, place a shield wall in the very front, like this. But of course, you'll need to wait for the points, so you'll get it eventually. Just make sure a hero does not die in the process, and that is one of the most hardest things to do in this game mode. Alright, I have all 3 units on the triangle. Now I just come back to the hero and wait until I have enough points to purchase the rest of the difficulty increases. So what this does is give you as much points as possible through the early waves. It will of course take a bit of a while, but that's why you put all 3 melee units in the front, not ranged units, because this is the most survivable that I've found. Alright, after you increase it to the maximum, you want to start putting down your ranged units. This should be very straightforward. When you get incendiary archers, use them as much as possible. There's also the non-com archers, the prefecture archers, just basically any tier 3, tier 4 archers and muskets you can get your hands on, and they'll all do fine. Now continuing on with placing down all the ranged units that you need, and then replenishing any melee infantry that has been used up in a triangle. You'll do this until you get to stage 15, and there will be some berserkers that come in that will likely destroy your front lines. I'll tell you what to do when we get there. In the meanwhile, you just wait behind your shield wall and replenish it whenever it's necessary, as well as the 2 melee units in the back. I chose to use javelins because they can do some range damage and then come close to support the shield wall whenever necessary. You can just use very cheap units to do this, cause on stage 15, the enemy will just have to go through once, which I'll show you right now. So on stage 15, there will be 2 waves of berserkers. The first wave you can see right there, and afterwards there'll be another wave. When you see them, they'll almost certainly completely destroy your front lines. When they do this, let them pass to the hero, and instead come back to the front line, and after they pass, you place down any melee unit you want on the front lines again to hold it and take out the rest. This is by far the most safest way to guarantee yourself high points early on. As you can see, I got 39,000 points without any risk to the hero. Alright, here comes the trial. You want to go with trial 4 and then place your units down in a way that prioritizes not damage but crowd control. So as you can see me putting down some flamers, some Shinji, but compared to all the units, you want at least 3 coconut boys or these pot throwers right in the middle, in the back lines. On the side, you want to make sure you have the Roman shields, and then in the front, you want to have at least 2 for the back row units, 3 shields, or 2 shields and 3 for the back row units. Either would do. On the very 4 corners of this map, you want to place down Imperial Archers, Incendiary Archers, or any tertiary units that you can find. These will be your main focus damage for your sides, so they can destroy anything that's trying to flank your units. Whereas for the front, you have Coconut Boys to make sure they deal enough crowd control so the enemy does not pass through. So, as you can see, I've placed down most of the things necessary. All I have to do is just refresh enough times until I get it. With this setup, you mostly don't have to do much with your hero other than stopping the other hero from doing too much block break damage, and make sure you have at least some points to replace your shield walls from the front. So yeah, just keep a few points remaining just as a reservoir in case. Just remember, do not let your hero die, and as long as that does not happen, you can do some crowd control to the enemy heroes whenever they come to try to kill your units. As long as you can not die, stun heroes, you should be able to finish this quite casually. Oh, and what you can see me do right now is to replace until I have a shield wall, so inevitably when one of the shield walls falls, I can easily replace it as fast as possible without the need to do it in the moment. So yeah, that's all you need to know. Just enjoy the rest and observe the last wave, and that's it for this guide. I'll see you in the next video.